my front door, the police officer said, "This isn't about you, but we need to come inside." I stood there barefoot, holding my coffee and still trying to wake up. Behind me, the sink was full of dishes from the night before, and I had only slept 4 hours. I had a double at the diner today. I was not ready for police officers in my living room. "Is this about a bill?" I asked, my brain grabbing for reasons why they would be here. The taller officer shook his head. "Ma'am, is your son home?" My stomach dropped. "Eli, he's asleep. He has school." The shorter officer stepped forward. "We need to talk to him." "Why?" My voice cracked. "Did he get in a fight?" They exchanged a look that told me everything was already out of my hands. "Ma'am," the tall one said, "your son has been accused of breaking into Northeast High last night and destroying property." "That's impossible," I said too fast. "He was here. I stopped. I had worked a late shift and hadn't seen him when I got home. I walked down the hall anyway and knocked on Eli's door. "Eli, wake up. Police are here." "What?" he said, groggy. "Mom?" The officers followed us into the kitchen where we all took a seat at the table. "Eli," the shorter officer said, "did you go to your school last night?" "No," Eli said. "I swear. I was on FaceTime with Mia." I grabbed that. "His girlfriend. She can prove it." The taller officer nodded. "We'll talk to her." They asked questions I didn't understand. "How do you get into the school? Who has keys? Who are you angry at?" Eli kept saying, "I didn't do it." I kept saying, "He's a good kid," knowing how weak that sounded. They left with a warning. Not Eli in handcuffs, but it felt almost as bad. "We'll be in touch," they said. After the door shut, Eli sat down hard. "Mom, I didn't do this." "I know," I said, even though fear crawled up my spine. I was a single mom. I lived paycheck to paycheck. I didn't know lawyers. I didn't know how to fight this. At noon, the school called. "Ms. Carter," the principal said, "we have security footage." My heart jumped. "So you saw it wasn't him?" There was a pause. "We saw someone wearing Eli's jacket." My legs almost gave out. "That doesn't mean anything." "He also used Eli's old ID badge," she said. "The one reported lost last semester." I remembered that night. Eli had come home upset. "I can't find my badge," he'd said. I had been tired. I had said, "We'll deal with it later." Now later was here. By evening, neighbors were whispering. A mom from the bus stop said, "I'm so sorry," like my kid was already guilty. Eli paced. "Mia knows I didn't do it. She'll tell them." When Mia came over, she wouldn't meet my eyes. "I told them what I could," she said softly. "What does that mean?" I asked. She swallowed. "My ex, Tyler, he hates Eli." Eli stopped pacing. "What?" "He's been texting me," she said, saying Eli ruined his life, saying he'd make him pay. My heart started racing. "Why didn't you say this earlier?" "I didn't think," she started crying. "I didn't think he'd actually do something." That night, the police came back. "We found more damage," the tall officer said. "Graffiti and broken computers." Eli shouted, "It wasn't me! Calm down!" The shorter officer said, "We need to ask about Tyler Reed." Mia gasped. "You know him?" "He was seen near the school," the officer said, "but we need proof." The next day, the principal called again. "The footage, it was altered. We can't confirm the face." Hope surged. I grabbed Eli. "See? This will be okay." Then my phone buzzed with a text from an unknown number. A photo of Eli's jacket on the school floor. A message. "He won't get away with this." My hands shook. "They're still after him," I whispered. We went to the station. I felt out of my element sitting in the chair, surrounded by badges and rules I didn't understand. "Please," I said, leaning forward. "He's my son. He's never been in trouble." The tall officer sighed. "Ma'am, do you know why Tyler would target Eli?" Mia spoke up, voice trembling. "Because I left him for Eli." Eli said, "Tyler stole my jacket from my locker. He knew where I kept my spare badge." "How?" the officer asked. "Because Tyler used to set up all the tech stuff at school," Eli said. "He knows the cameras." The room went quiet. The shorter officer looked at his partner. "We didn't know that." I felt dizzy. "So you see, it wasn't my son." "We're not done yet," the tall officer said, "but this changes things." Then a new officer rushed in. "We have Tyler's phone records," he said. "It's full of messages where he bragged about framing Eli." Mia cried out. Eli grabbed my hand. The tall officer looked at us. "Eli, you're cleared for now." "For now?" I asked. "We need to ask why Tyler did this," he said. "There's more here." I hugged my son. Relief and fear tangled together. I knew this wasn't over. I knew someone had tried to destroy my child's life. Turns out that when Tyler's brother was expelled 2 years earlier, it had been Eli who had reported him. So Tyler planned revenge patiently, using Mia to get close.